So I'm still getting some questions. Some of you aren't understanding section 6.1 in Algebra 2, where you have to find the percent of change of increase or decrease when it's not given to you in the form of 1 plus r or 1 minus r. Okay, so remember, we can change b into 1 plus r or 1 minus r. You got to keep in mind that it's a 1. All right, so here's another example. Y equals 4 times 0.8t. 4 would be the initial amount. This is your base, and this would be a decay because the base is less than 1. So to figure out the rate, I have to say to myself, okay, 0.8 equals 1 minus r. Because it's decay, I'm going to use the minus r. So how do I find that? How do I find what r is? Oh, well, I'm just going to take 1 and subtract 0.8, and that's going to give me 0.2. So that means the rate is 0.2, excuse me, or 20%. So for both increase and decrease, you got to take what's inside the base, and you have to figure out if it's growth, you figure out what r is by 1 plus r. If it's decay, you find out what r is by 1 minus r. So another example. So on this particular one, this is the initial amount, 15, but what I'm concerned with is this part. Now this is going to be growth because b is greater than 1. I did say less than 1 on the other one, right? Okay, good. So because it's growth, I need to use 1 plus r in my model. So 1 plus r has to equal 1.1. Well, what would r be? So r would be 0.1 or 10%. Doing a third example, I'll do 4 altogether. Let me do a fraction. So again, this is the initial amount, this is the base. 5/4 is greater than 1, so this would be growth, because 5/4 is greater than 1. So I need to use the 1 plus r model. So I need to ask myself, 1 plus what would give me 5/4? So subtract 1 from both of these, and you're going to get y equal to 1/4. And 1/4 in a decimal is 0.25, so that means 25%. That's the rate of increase. And then one more example, excuse me. Let's do a decay model. So in this particular one, the initial amount would be 1 because there's no number here. 4/5 is less than 1, so this would be decay because 4/5 is less than 1. So I want to use the 1 minus r model. So that means 4/5 equals 1 minus some r. So what would that r be? So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this as r equals 1 minus 4/5. And what is 1 minus 4/5? So this is also 1/4 or 0.25. So this is also a 25%, but this case it's a decrease, not an increase, because 4/5 is less than 1. All right, I hope that helps.